I watched my class go from very chaotic and a bunch of behavior issues to really calm and very relaxed. And it was just this very beautiful classroom community that kind of bloomed out of it. Hey there, I'm Katherine Barker, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I built a strong classroom community and how I moved my class from chaos to calm in just 30 days. Be sure to stick around until the end because I have a freebie for you to download and use in your classroom. Okay, so I'm going to take you back to my first year teaching. So I had just landed my dream teaching job, teaching transitional kindergarten, and I was hired right before the start of school. So I had about less than a week to get ready for school. And as some of you may already know, I was just fixated on having a perfect classroom. I just wanted to look just like it was straight out of Pinterest. And I kind of had everything else pushed to the side because for some reason, I just wanted to have this beautiful classroom. And I think something in me kind of felt like if I had this perfect classroom put together, then parents would come in and look around and be like, wow, she really has it together. And I think it was kind of giving me extra confidence and making me feel like they would come in and see my room was great and they would have confidence in me, and therefore that would give me more confidence, which of course was absolutely not true. Looking back, I realized I would rather have a room that is kind of plain and empty and have good classroom management and have good curriculum versus a beautiful room with no classroom management plan and nothing for the kids to do. So here comes the first day of school, right? And I pretty much have my classroom as good as I would like it, right? It was good enough, still didn't reach my perfectionist standards, but I was okay with it. And I remember I kind of started having some behavior issues pop up. And the first day is just kind of crazy anyways, right? So I thought, oh, just chalk it up to the first day. But the next day, some more popped up. And as you know, as the weeks kind of went on, I think it was into the second or third week. And the behaviors just started getting worse and worse and worse, right? Because the kiddos just kind of started testing you, kind of pushing the limits. And I remember one day that was particularly bad, and I was dealing with a behavior issue with one of my students. And I remember my teammate looked at me and said, Mrs. Barker, I think it's time to put together your behavior management systems. And right then I realized, okay, I need to get this together ASAP. This is more important than anything else because my classroom was getting chaotic, behaviors were getting bad, and I realized this is not the classroom that I want to have. This is not the classroom culture or the classroom community that I dreamed of having in college. It's not what I want my students to experience. And I knew I needed to do something to change my classroom. So then I went home and I put together my classroom management system. And I had it rooted in positive reinforcement because that was what I had really kind of learned when I was student teaching. I found that it worked really well. And it was something that I also practiced when I taught preschool. So first, I just did it for whole group. But then I realized, gosh, it's not really fair when, say, the majority of my students are making good choices, but say like 5 or 6 kids aren't making great choices. And so the class doesn't get a reward because of the choice of those handful of students. So I thought, I wonder if there's a way that I could add in another layer of behavior management. So then I decided to focus in on individual behavior. So I kept my whole group, but I added another layer and I thought, okay, I'm going to start giving rewards for that individual behavior. So each student kind of had an accountability system for them where they rewarded for their positive behavior. And that seemed to really work well. But then I still had like 2 students that really struggled behaviorally. And it seemed no matter what I did, they just could not follow the rules. They were very impulsive. They really struggled with self-control. And I thought, you know what, maybe there's something I can do just for them. So that's when I added my third layer. And the third layer is what I like to call like targeted student. So that's when I took that behavior management system and I really tailored it down just for those 2 students. Both of the systems looked a little different for each one of them because I got really, really specific and really tailored it just for that student. So after I kind of made this pyramid of behavior management systems of whole group, individual, and targeted students, that's when it just was beautiful. Like tied up with a bow, and I just watched this incredible transformation happen in my classroom. And truly within 30 days of starting these behavior management systems and adding in layer by layer, I watched my class go from very chaotic and a bunch of behavior issues to really calm and very relaxed. And it was just this very beautiful classroom community that kind of bloomed out of it. Then I started adding other behavior management strategies into my behavior management systems. I started using engaging call and responses. I started using more fluid systems for my transitions. I really began to hone in and focus in on that student-teacher relationship and found some strategies for really connecting with students. I focused on partnering with parents really well, and I really broke down my rules and routines for my kids and procedures so they knew exactly how to do each task in the classroom. And then I also taught my students social emotional learning skills, and this was huge because when your kiddos come in, especially young kiddos, they're still really learning those social skills, right? And they're still learning emotionally what's going on. They're still very new to it, right? And they're still trying to understand it. And so when I was able to take strategies and lessons and really break it down for them and really teach conflict resolution skills, it was really amazing how I was kind of able to step back, and it was like my classroom was almost self-run. I also focused on teaching my students character traits every month. So we would focus on a character trait, and then I would use my behavior management systems to really kind of focus in and reward those good character traits that maybe we were focusing on that month. The end picture looked like this. My kids knew the rules and routines like the back of their hand. If a sub came in, they would let them know if they were doing it wrong. So my kids knew how we did things. They knew the procedures so well. They were focusing on showing good positive behavior in the classroom, and they were focused on celebrating other students' good behavior. They would high five and celebrate each other's successes, and my kids were very encouraging to one another. And we laughed and we had fun in my classroom. Like, I loved coming to school every day. I would look forward to coming to school every single day. My kids looked forward to coming to school every day. I remember I would be at the calendar telling my kids, okay, today's Friday, you're gonna stay home Saturday, Sunday, and you're gonna come back on Monday. And the whole class would literally be like, oh man, like, we don't wanna go home. We don't wanna stay home. We're gonna miss you. And that just totally filled my bucket. And that was like that moment of like, yes, this is why I became a teacher. This is what I wanted. And I just had the classroom that I'd always dreamed of having. And it was just this beautiful space where my students, they felt loved, safe, and encouraged. And that's the moment I knew I had to just share this framework with other teachers, that I wanted other teachers to be able to experience this incredible classroom community and just experience this wonderful feeling of loving going to school every day. Your students are doing wonderful and enjoying school and loving school. And it's truly just an incredible school experience. And if you're interested in building a strong classroom community like the one I spoke about earlier, be sure to download my quick start guide to positive classroom management. And that is the framework for how I build my strong classroom community. I hope you found this video helpful and useful, and be sure to get in the description and grab that free resource for yourself. All right, I'll see you in the next one, friend. Bye for now, and happy teaching.